So,
We are rolling. Do we have a name for this show?
not yet. I think we'll come up with one later.
Yeah.
I want to tell you something. I've been giving a lot of thought to years gone by, and I really appreciate the office that we used to have.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I do.
At the Cobb Galleria and stuff like
I
that.
definitely
Dude, we
took
actually
that
had
for
some good
granted.
times.
Is that the correct way to say it? Where you didn't appreciate it or use it?
Well, if you didn't appreciate it, you took it for granted. But can you look back and you be like, wow, that was really cool, going to
yeah.
an office and we all kind of had the same strategy and we didn't really function as a team. Sometimes we would, but
We definitely did not function as a team. We should have abused more people in that office for answers, and we should have done a lot more too, but whatever.
well, the only thing I would change is there would be more like structure and goals we
Mhm.
might have set for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we were very free form, but now there's a lot more logging and accountability that I do that we you got to do it, but we didn't really force ourselves to do it back then.
Yeah.
I think that was a big part of it.
You know what
too.
helps me with that, keeping myself accountability,
What's
is
that?
now the fact that I put all my trades on social media.
That works. I've seen you've been really active on
So
Instagram.
I have, and I took a lot of trades this week. I took a lot of losses, but I kept my losses small, and I need to go back through and I need to tighten up. I think I got carried away, and just because the rules say 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't necessarily mean you need to take all those if they fit all the rules.
Explain.
So if my business plan says, and I go down that list and everything checks off, I take the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Mhm.
all the trades I took this week checked off the list.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I could go back through and find another check.
Yes, you can always add
So
more
I
checks.
can eliminate more losing trades.
How many? So you're logging now, right?
Through social media, yeah. And then I go back this weekend. Actually, what I want to start this weekend is what I'll do is, you know how Instagram does stories?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do a before and after now.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of that stories, I'll do all my trades. And then I'll show you a total and what the, whether it's a loss, positive or negative, but put it on the story, because the stories get like, I took that little online social media thing on Udemy, and
Mhm.
with Instagram and like stories, people interact with stories a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they were just talking about what people tend to engage and interact with.
Yeah.
So trying to get that story thing active. And I thought that would be a good way, instead of just posting a bunch of before and afters on my Instagram, just do it through the story. And then it like logs it underneath, I don't know what it's called, but it's like right above your post. There's like a 1, 2, 3. So anyway, yeah.
Do you want to know another thing that you can do to improve your Instagram? You need to go lease yourself a Lamborghini.
Oh my God.
And take pictures of you driving around in
man.
your garage out here.
Oh my God. That I definitely don't want to do that.
Well, dude, it works, and I'm really surprised at how well it works. Somebody that I've known for years in trading, like, they're constantly kind of searching for their way to do things. And they're like, hey, you got to check out this one trader that I'm like studying his stuff now. And I actually read, the stuff, and it was pretty generic. But then he said, like, well, here's this guy's Instagram. And the guy's like 19 years old.
Yeah.
And he's got like Ferraris and everything in the garage. And I'm like, dude, they lease those.
Yeah.
And then, because, look, maybe he did make it. I don't know. I don't know for sure. But what I do feel is that someone that's 20 years old doesn't have the risk appreciation to make enough money to actually get an Aston Martin. And if they did, I don't know if they would necessarily consider investing in such a depreciating asset. Like it's like maybe you do. I don't think so. It's just I'm just really risk averse and conscious, and I don't want to put my money into something like that.
It's almost like you it would just be smarter to lease it out anyway, right?
Just for the photo, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, just in general.
Well, if you're selling people this dream, then yes, it's definitely worth. It's a business expense.
Or, you want to change up every year and get the latest model.
If that's what's important to you. But yeah, I mean, you gotta make a lot of disposable cash you can light on fire.
Mm.
to live that lifestyle. So, if that's what's worth it to him, but I don't know. Maybe it's for real. Who knows? But that's just a very common thing. I remember seeing this picture. Somebody's making fun of like this forex trader that was like sitting in a hotel room in his robe, and he had literally a pile of cash. What forex trader do you know just like keeps a pile of cash on their table in a hotel room? I mean, what like that would be in an account somewhere, and it would be digital, and you'd be trading it. Why would you even want to like pull out a bunch of cash, even if you're on vacation somewhere? It just doesn't make sense.
Sometimes you might fall into the strip club and hit it up, right?
Yeah, I suppose, but it was like really, really like more than you could carry to a strip club pile of cash though. Like it was about the yay high, and even if it was once, which it may well very well been, but I mean, it just seems very impractical because you can use your credit card at a strip club, can't you?
Yes, you can, and they're
Yeah.
actually nice enough to make sure that it shows up on your credit card bill labeled as something other than a strip club. One I used to work at used to be a country club.
A country club. Oh, what is it? Do you want to give a name for that? What was it?
I don't
euphemism
remember
they
the
used?
country club, the name of the country club, but it was Gold Rush Show Bar down off of Metropolitan.
Is it still there?
Yes, it's very much still there.
Okay.
Yeah, owned by the infamous Gallardi. I think it's Gallardi South, GSE, something like that. They got their headquarters right there off of 85. I think they're Claremont. Claremont's right before Northwood
they-
Hills, right?
You know the first thing I'm thinking?
Uh-uh.
Are they a publicly traded company?
Uh,
Probably not.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't think
Probably
so.
not. I don't think. I
And
don't know.
Jack
no.
Gallardi is long dead, so I don't know who picked it up after him. But that guy was a trip, man. I mean, he was old as fuck.
You meet the guy?
And yeah, no, he's not really. He was never interested in a bar back like myself. But I had to go run all the way in the back and get his Johnny Walker Blue out of the safe, pull it up every time he showed up. So every Saturday, he would ride around in a party bus with him and some friends or whoever he, happened to look up with him, and he would make his rounds to all his clubs, man. He had all of them. He had what were the clubs back in the day? Masters, which I think is now Onyx. Crazy Horse, which I think was down in Jonesboro. Pink Pony, the famous Pink Pony South.
Okay, now you're talking names I'm familiar.
What else was there? Oh man, he had a few clubs. He had Club Riviera, which was a 24-hour club. He had Club 112.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He and that's just in Georgia.
It sounds like he found something he really liked to do, like have these places to go, different atmospheres, and hang out himself. And he was like, "Huh, I can monetize this."
He was definitely known as a mobster. So
Oh, so he had cash from other things coming in, and this was kind of like a laundry service.
allegedly.
Oh, okay. Whether that's true or not, I'm sure he enjoyed people thinking it.
He he lived it, man. He definitely I heard all kinds of stories. Man, it's crazy. You know how it is, man. Rumors fly, things like that.
Yeah.
But who knows? He wasn't trading the stock market probably.
His investments were in his clubs. So
Probably. Yeah. So speaking of stock market, last Friday the market came back down. Would you consider that like a healthy pullback?
Oh, 100%.
All right.
Everybody was like thinking that like this was the start of the new bear market because everyone's always loving to predict it. And every day they come out with the market's going to crash based on whatever economic factors that don't matter anymore. And every once in a while they can be right. What's funny is they shut up though when it actually happens.
What happens?
When it actually goes down a little bit. But no, I told people going into that week, like, look, the world isn't ending. Like when we had the COVID crash.
Well, that's what they were saying. It was, I guess they were saying the reason for this pullback was the fact that there were some more spikes. We're opening back up. The second wave.
Was that day any different from every day for the last month, where unemployment was horrible? There's new spikes in cases in different states. There's every single day there was bad news that the stock market should go. America was burning 2 weeks ago on that Monday. We came out of all the riots and stuff like that, and the stock market was up. That told you one thing. it is a bull market because it's discounting all bad news. It doesn't care. Bull market doesn't care. It just goes up. And so when we finally had this little pullback, people are like, oh, here it is. Here's the big no. And then Monday, I was like super confident. I'll watch the price action in the morning when it opened up down and I was like, yeah, we're going up. I told people in the room I was in, like, look, if you got anything you want to buy, now's the time.
Including Hertz?
No.
So that's been a big topic on CNBC this week is people buying bankrupt companies. And I know that was a topic in your little Discord room. So, yeah, tell me your thoughts.
They love that, man.
Tell me your thoughts on that, Wes.
I mean, it's a trading vehicle. It's highly speculative. It is gambling. If you get enough people buying a very illiquid anything, the price is going to go up, and they're just playing a game with each other essentially right now. There's a bunch of it's just the name that's in the news, and there's people winning, and there's a lot of people losing. What's amazing to me is they actually have options on it, and so that makes it even more interesting because I've resisted the temptation, but I mean, as a trading vehicle,
what kind of options would you play on that?
well, I mean, it's just you can go in with options and not have to own the shares, which means you can choose the risk that you want. Of course, you could do the shares too. Like only between $1 and $2, so you can be very low risk. But I mean, people need to see that as fun. And I don't think actually anyone on the Robinhood traders, like, they actually think this is an investment. Like, they don't even know what's going to happen. Like, there's no one that I've talked to that said, oh, yeah, I heard it's going to bounce back from bankruptcy. I mean, it's helpful to them that they don't even understand how it works where the common shareholders are the last to get paid in a bankruptcy. All the banks and stuff that had secured debt and bonds and loans and stuff, they get paid first. And then whatever's left goes to the shareholders, which is almost always nothing. I don't think I've ever known of a time where it wasn't.
It's interesting times, but that seems to be a big topic right now on CNBC. The other thing you mentioned that has been a big topic on the news is the effect Robinhood has had on.
It's horrible.
On everybody.
It's horrible.
All the big people, all the hedge funds, all the you name it. So the whole zero commission, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's horrible. It's destroyed the industry for retail trading and that in COVID, everyone being at home and day trading, but like with $0 commissions, you have tons of people flooding in, myself included. I'm trading more shares now too because the options market has become so illiquid that you see a play on a stock and you just can't do it. There's no options. Like I tried to get out of a UPS put spread on Monday, and on each leg was at least $1.40. And this was like October puts on a very heavily traded stock. And I couldn't get out. I had to give up like $40 per contract just to get out of this put spread. So, again, it goes back to why I've been trading options that much. But the problem is they're not investing. If they're not making money, they're not investing in more servers, more bandwidth, anything like that. And so I actually contacted Thinkorswim and I said, hey, can I pay you guys commissions again for better service? Is there a tier that I can go up to? Like you remember I used to complain about commissions a lot. It was like, I don't want to take this trade, it's got commissions, and that kind of stuff. But now it's like, wow, maybe you get what you pay for.
What was that phone call like?
Well, it was an email. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not gonna, there's no reason to call them and yell at them. But it was like, is there another package? Like, this is pretty bad. Like, there was one day, May the 22nd, couldn't even log in at about 10 o'clock. And I'm looking at scans right at 10 o'clock. That is my process. And some days I'll have, a few, but some days I'll have like 80. And I've got to go through all of them and find the best ones. And there may only be one in those I want to take. And sometimes it'll hit the entry right at like 10:01 or 10:02. And if I'm spending 45 seconds waiting for something to load, it's really throwing me off.
So TD Ameritrade and these other brokerages are having large spreads and zero commissions. Is that because apps like Robinhood and Stash apps are forcing them into that, or is it because of the banks and the zero interest rate, or how are they being forced and affected by that to where you're having huge spreads and zero commission?
There's two things there. The spreads, I don't know why. I think it's because volatility's actually returned to the market.
Mm-hmm.
And, in years past where the VIX was down in the teens, you had like 5 cent, 10 cent, 15 cent spreads were huge. Like, I remember those days, olden days. We'll probably get back there, but I think what's happened is just there's more risk. And so the algos, the high frequency trading bots, this is just my theory, I don't know for sure. I think they've just gone away because, used to when you had like stocks only move a little bit, it was a much easier proposition for them to like sit there and like a computer put something at the ask, put something at the bid and try to make a little bit during the day. But now that there's more risk, they've just gone away. So I think the liquidity's dried up because I think people that were providing it have just stopped because of the risk. As far as the second part, it's Robinhood came to the market with this startup mentality, i.e., we're going to burn millions in cash just to get as many eyes and users as we can, and one day we'll make money on it. And they have ways of making money, but they're still just burning cash. But in the process, all the other stock brokerages have had to go to zero commissions to compete. And that's why they've kind of destroyed the industry. There's no money to be made in commissions anymore. So how are these things going to make money? And furthermore, if they can't make money, they can't make investments to make their platforms scale. So it sucks all around, actually.
Well, segue. The Fed came out and talked with Senate and things like that, and it looks like they're going to continue to do zero interest rates, right? And I guess even throw more money into the market if necessary.
Woohoo! YOLO.
So how does that affect us overall? And how can we benefit, or how's it going to hurt us?
Well, I have studied economics enough to know that I don't know anything about economics. And I don't know what interest rates are going to be. I do know one thing, though. When I went to go sign my papers for my house, my mortgage, the lawyer at the closing, as people do, they sometimes, talk about things, and he's like, ha, you got this great interest rate. When I signed my mortgage, it was 15% because he was, back before we can possibly remember, because we were basically not born, like Carter administration. The interest rates got up to like 17% because they were fighting inflation. And I do know that those are multi-generational cyclical things, and who knows where we'll get back to. But money's free, and it's been free for a while, essentially. But what's interesting about what the Fed actually started doing now, see, in the COVID thing, they did two things that I thought were like, one of the things they did was they allowed their primary dealers, which was like the 26 or 28 big banks like Credit Suisse, J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, the ones that buy the actual bonds directly from the Fed. They allowed them to put up as collateral their stocks. Normally you put up like a house as collateral or even a car, a physical object. Nope. You can put up stock now as collateral to get basically a loan from the Fed to buy more bonds, which is crazy because it encourages them, which is the intent, to have more assets and then be able to leverage themselves based on assets. So now the Fed has basically, through their primary dealers, gone long the stock market by taking that on as collateral. And then the second thing they did was they were going to start buying corporate bond ETFs. And basically these are ETFs built up of corporate bonds. And what corporate bonds are companies can issue shares to drum up money, but corporations can also issue bonds of their own. Rather than go to a bank for a loan, they can say, like, okay, we need $500,000 for this project. Let's take out a $500,000 bond, and anyone can pretty much, if you maybe you had to go through a broker, but you can get into one of these bonds basically. And basically, if the company folds and defaults on their debt, well, you have no recourse. But that's why they're rated and stuff like that. So they were buying the ETFs, which are basically just
like a credit score when you say rated,
yes,
like a credit score for a
company.
company?
Oh, yeah. Companies have credit scores, and based on that credit score, that is the cost, basically the interest rate that they have to offer on their bonds to get people to buy them. And so that's been going on forever. And basically what happened with these ETFs is they would combine bonds from different companies like Coca-Cola, GE, you know, you know, all the Dow stocks might be in one. Then you might have some higher riskier ones. Like I don't know if Tesla got in any of them because their bonds are pretty much junk rating, but high interest. You know, if you don't think Tesla's going to go out of business, you know that's where the upside is.
I mean, we at least know that his car will be in space longer than Tesla can probably.
Millions of years.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to take that down.
Yeah.
I was listening to Howard Marks actually. He's a fixed income trader, has been for years and years and years. He had a very interesting take. He doesn't buy the high rated bonds because if you think about it, the highest rated bond, it can't go any higher. If it's AAA rated, it's not going to get better.
It's just maxed out.
There's only one way you can go. There can only be a surprise to the downside. You can only lose money on a AAA. But if you get like a single B or somewhere in that B range, you know, then there's some actual risk. And if you just pick the right ones, there's a lot more interest.
Where do you look up things like that? I mean, is that something you can go to Yahoo Finance and get a rating on that? I mean, I definitely was looking into Yahoo Finance just to do research.
I think Morningstar was a site or a company that would do a lot of these ratings for mutual funds. I don't know. Again, that's outside my realm of expertise. I just know that, you know, that's kind of, you know, what the Fed. Oh, but I'm going long-winded thing. Let me get back to the Fed thing. So
okay.
Instead of just buying the ETFs, which are a diversified basket of these bonds, now they're just buying directly corporate bonds. So essentially now the Fed has backstopped American corporations from going out of business.
So what does that necessarily entail? Does that mean if those companies default on themselves, like the Fed owns them?
Yeah.
Kind of like the bank owns your property if you default on your loan?
Right. Yeah. Now basically if the Fed is going to buy corporate bonds, American corporations can basically go to the Fed and borrow money. And they don't have to go to a bank. They can just issue a bond, and the Fed, if they want to, they can do it. You know, it's also kind of funny how they did it. So the CARES Act that they passed and everything like that, they took $75 billion out of it. Okay, they said, okay, we're going to take $75 billion of taxpayer-funded money, and then we're going to go to a bank and we're going to leverage it. So they went to like a bank and they said, okay, here's our 75, give us 10-to-1 leverage. So basically they were able to leverage themselves up to $750 billion.
That's some fractional loans right there. That's
Absolutely.
the infamous fractional loans.
So I mean, they're basically leveraging themselves to go take out bonds on, corporations, to backstop these corporations. And what have corporations been doing with their bond money these last 10 years? About more and more of these years, they've been buying back their own stock.
Oh, I thought they were just ripping everybody off.
Well, in the matter of speaking, in the long way, yes, because we basically just gone full socialization of risk, and privatizing gain. Like, I'm a big free market libertarian philosophical person, but I'm like, what are you guys doing? You were just absolutely giving capitalism a horrible, horrible name. Like, everyone's going to be like, oh, look at what capitalism did. And it's like, no, this is clearly government jumping in and messing with stuff. But maybe that's their intention. Maybe they want to destroy it all so that people are like, hey, maybe Bernie Sanders has some answers to our problems.
I mean, we're definitely given a case where Andrew Yang was all about. That whole stimulus check is on money for him.
Did you enjoy your 60-day trial of socialism? How'd that work out for you? Everyone got their check.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
Everybody loved it.
It's been amazing, and of course, nobody's not gonna. I mean, come on, man. I got to sit at home and get paid more than what I was making my normal job.
Pretty nice, huh?
And yeah, it was pretty nice. I just can't help but wonder what the long-term effect's gonna be. That's what I want to know, because it's cool. It's cool now. What about later?
It's awesome. We just kick the can down the road. I mean, there's a lot. Every day, people are going to be saying, like, the dollar is going to fail. I don't know. I don't know if those things are going to happen. It's just, I do know one thing about price, and you've seen it enough too. You look at anything on a short time frame, or, like a tech stock or Bitcoin in 2017, when something has that parabolic trajectory, you don't know when it's going to end, but it only ends in one way, catastrophically. And so by pumping, we need to just let things crash and then let creative destruction take place. But by trying to stave it off and just pumping it, giving it more gas, I mean, yeah, it drives it back up, but it just exacerbates any problem that's going to happen in the future. Yeah, but right now it's fine, so enjoy it. Like, find good things in life to enjoy, basically.
Now, the Fed's buying these bonds. Is that in any relation or the same language of the bonds that people were talking about during the mortgage crisis?
No, they're different. I mean, the bonds in the mortgage crisis, the collateralized debt obligations, the CDOs, basically they took a bunch of mortgages and put them into a bond because it works really well as a bond because people were paying their mortgages every month, so you can do a coupon payment, and then people eventually pay it back over time. So it made sense to make those into financial products at the time. They just got abused.
Why couldn't you do that with corporate bonds?
I'm sure they do. That's
they're
what
pretty
those.
solid, right? I mean, those corporate.
Oh, they're not solid at all.
Why not? Corporate's not going to fuck up their stuff, right?
They absolutely go. They go bankrupt. They like Delta.
Well, those AAA ones.
Several.
Right?
Well, yeah, the AAA ones. Well, I going past my expertise, I don't even know if there are such thing as AAA rated corporate bonds. I mean, maybe Coca-Cola bonds or something, but those are going to give you really bad yields. I mean, you might as well. I mean, better than putting your money in a savings account now, I suppose, but you're just not going to get much from them. So most people would rather have stock for the gains and dividends off of them. So, yeah.
What's some of your favorite gaming stocks? Because I noticed that Fortnite was in the news lately, and they're getting ready to release their new season. And
I don't know who is in Fortnite, and you know me, man. I don't really like. If there's anything from this Discord I've learned is don't care about anything the company's doing because it can only confuse you and make you bag hold that thing as it goes down.
Is that what all those kids are doing?
Dude, I've been so triggered by this whole genius brands.
How many are Teslas? Fans?
They're not really doing Tesla because Tesla's too big. Most of these people in the Discord, they want to do penny stocks. And the big thing that I've been really harping on was this GNUS, Genius Brands, which it had a really, really good run. It went from like $2 to $11 in a day. And then in that same day, it dropped down to like $5. And I told the chat, look, when something drops 50% intraday in the same day, the hype is over. Get out.
Yeah.
But no. On June the 15th, they were going to release their cartoon channel. And so, surely it was going to go up on June 15th. But again, buy the rumor, sell the news. Once the actual event, the catalyst has come out, there's nothing more of a surprise to move. Stocks move on surprises. And once the catalyst has happened, there's no more surprises. The stock's not going to go anymore. And that's why when news comes out, the stocks oftentimes sell off, is because the only thing driving it up was maybe the risk that they weren't going to have that announcement. And then when it happens, well, there's no more risk. It's gone. Sell. There's no more hype. But people are just holding these. I've been looking at this website, Robintrack, trying to come up with a trading strategy off of it. One thing I have learned is that Robinhood users never sell their stocks. You can see that stock go up, and then more Robinhood users jump in, and it dips down, and people buy, and as that thing's going down, Robinhood users just keep on buying it. They never sell. They never take losses. They'll let those things go to zero. I mean, they keep telling stories about this event's going to happen, or what do you think's going to happen with that season, or things like that. They'll tell themselves these stories, which I say is I always say fundamentals. It's fun to talk about, but they don't set targets. They don't set their stop. They don't set their target. I don't know what they're looking for. They're waiting for that moment of emotion that day when they can cash out for the equivalent of a Lambo, and just
What
maybe they will.
So what are you watching and what do you like? What's some West top 5 picks of the day?
I don't have picks. I'm very much against picks.
Okay.
I have my signals that run at 10 a.m. and I take the ones that fit my rules.
So strictly technical.
Strictly technical, and I'm constantly working on other things, and I'm actually working on I'm actually trying to help these people out by coming up with a way to look at Robinhood user activity and volume, because every day when there's 180% mover, people come into the chat like, what do you think about this? I was like, I think it's gone. Like, you see it's 180% and you're like thinking, oh, do I need to buy it? No, you do not. It's done. Maybe, I mean, the thing is, some of these things may keep going, but it's like, you got to get these before they do. And to do that, you have to like find the patterns that, set these up. And nobody wants to do the work. Nobody wants to do the work.
The truth? Nobody wants to put
Nobody
the work
wants to do it. I try to give homework to them. Like, hey, why don't you guys look at this one? There might be.
How well did that go?
Nobody answered.
You should just go against them. Every time they say they want to go bullish, go bearish.
No, that's actually not good because some of these things do actually pump. The problem with them is not the making the money getting these pumps, because anyone can see this thing at like $1 and the next day it'd be up $2 and they'll double their money. The problem is they don't know when to get out. So that's why they'll never make money. It's not they can't find opportunities. It's that they don't know, they can't play them with discipline. There's a lot of money to be made every week in these things. It's very enticing, but they don't really structure themselves in a way that is going to set them up to win. They're just thinking that, oh, I'm going to hold it until this news event comes out. They don't even fundamentally understand that that's not going to move the stock. That what moves the stock is more people buying than selling. That's it. That's all it is. And so you got to get out while the musical chairs is playing.
Let's talk about your favorite, Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Any new updates on that? Anything exciting going on in the Bitcoin world?
Yawn. It's just trading in a range.
Yawn, huh?
Well, I mean, it got up to 10K, and that has proved to be an incredibly psychological level that I don't know when it's going to pass it. I think it's just going to kind of stay in this range until it isn't. That's my prediction. I mean, I know it's very broad, but it's like, it's one thing that pisses me off about it actually is I see Bitcoin and crypto as supposed to be an uncorrelated asset class. But that's not the case. Like, everyone all these years has been talking about mass adoption. They want people to be using it. But you know what's happened as they've started using it? It's become an investment vehicle. It's become a risk asset. And so now it moves very correlated to the S&P. And that sucks because it's not supposed to. But like when the S&P's down, Bitcoin's down. When the S&P's up, Bitcoin's up. Yawn. That's not what it's supposed to do. But that's what's happened because a lot of people see it as a way to trade.
But, isn't that good in a way? Now you got something that you can, help give you some direction and idea to, because it's not like it's
not predictive. It's just correlated.
Okay.
Unfortunately. Well, you know what? Actually, you say that. Maybe there's something there. I don't know if I have time to research that or not.
Well, what else? Some other hot topics, Wes.
I mean, I think.
Did you get to watch that space launch?
Oh, absolutely.
We were supposed to watch it that day that it got canceled in our first attempt at this podcast.
Well, let me ask you something. Have you got the RV fixed?
Negative. It's still sitting over there, and somebody actually just called me to buy it for like $2,000 cash, and
that's what I want that, man.
Yeah, it's just got to get repaired, and
I think that's a low ball, man.
Of course, he was trying to, he wants to fix it up and wholesale it. So I'm trying to find some idiot. Try to find some idiot and sell it for as much as I can.
Oh, okay. So you're over it. So no more. We can't take it to see a rocket launch of the Falcon Heavy.
Man, I kind of after like having that accident, man, I've just been really turned off on driving it because it's just such a.
Well, when you messed up the thing?
Yeah, man, it just
dude, get back on the horse.
It just and then it's like I don't think I'd ever trust anybody else to drive it, but I definitely don't want to go on a trip where I'm the only one driving it because that sucks too. You want to be the guy in the back partying, just like everybody
Right.
else.
Well, if
So.
you wouldn't trust me to drive it?
I mean, I think I would actually trust you,
Yeah.
but even then, I trust myself, and I still fucked up. So
Well, you just hit the awning, man. You just bent the awning.
You should have seen what I did to the other
Little-
guy's car, man.
Oh.
Woo, that whole bumper. It was an easy fix. It was just a bumper, but it still looked ugly. And,
Is it maybe like you need some more mirrors or something?
I just misgauged that back corner. It sticks out way past the wheel. Good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like 4 feet, 5. I think it's too much. About 3 to 4 feet. It sticks out past the back wheel. So it's just not like anything else you drive, and it's a box on wheels, man. It's almost like a boat, dude. You got to brake way before you anticipate braking, and you gotta, you ain't getting that thing up above 70 miles an hour. So I've gotten it up to 90, and it was like, yeah, this ain't built for
You
smooth.
and you watch the gas. Gauge just go
It does that
down.
anyway, dude.
Yeah.
It's a box on wheels, man.
What kind of miles a gallon they get?
I don't know. Let's see. I drove from Snellville to Commerce and back, which is an hour drive there. Hour drive back, about 45 minutes each.
Did you actually ever take it on like a big camping trip or anything?
I took it to Nashville. I took it to Alabama, and it was more so for shows.
Mm-hmm.
We had some shows, and we all piled up in there and took off on the
So you
road.
had good memories, huh?
I would have liked to have made some more.
Still can.
Yeah, I want to come back to that, man, when I have more time, free time to do exactly that. It was awesome to have, just the wrong time in my life. So, it is what it is. It was fun. Separate the men from the boys by the price of their toys, and
Dude,
well,
yeah,
I'm not sure if I was quite man enough to be an RV guy yet.
Well, there's a lot of people, man, that just live that life, and
My uncle does. That's how I got that RV. He upgraded and got a bigger one. And that's pretty much what he does, man. He does audio video work. He's a subcontractor, independent contractor. And in between jobs, man, I mean, even on the jobs, instead of them paying him, what do you call it, like a per diem or whatever for like hotel and stuff like that, he just parks up in an RV park, takes the difference. When he's not working, he's in San Diego right now. He got caught out there. He was supposed to come back here for his birthday in May and got caught. California wouldn't let anybody leave. And, he's actually coming back this Monday. So, and he's flying out. He's got to get all his registration and stuff done, and then he'll come back. But he's got he had a boat. He just had a bunch of money, dude.
mm-hmm.
And that's the lifestyle he likes, man, is in that RV. He's a gypsy. I have had a lot of people come and look at it, especially right before this COVID and during the COVID. I don't know what it was, but everybody wanted an RV. That was very clear. You can look at Winnebago. Winnebago sells all that stuff, all the RV sells, even talking to the guys doing repairs. But there's something romantic and adventurous about wanting to get an RV and just like, not have a home, not have an apartment, no attachments, and roll.
Trade from the laptop.
Yes. I mean, or whatever it is. Most of these people were just, people that, I don't know. I met a lot of different couples and people and individuals that just, their idea was just to get rid of things that were tying them down, like a house, car payments.
Like Elon did. And like I did.
Yeah, that's so cracked me up about Elon, about how he was sitting there talking to Joe about, Joe's just marveled over and how he just manages to do so much.
Mm-hmm.
And but what he couldn't do was design his own house. He was like, that was like the limit for him. He was like, I don't got time for that.
Not in time.
Yeah, I don't got time to design my house. Because they were going back and forth, I think, if I remember correctly. Just imagine what Elon Musk's house would be like if he designed it.
Well,
It'd be like Bill Gates buying, just...
He had a vision. He probably had like a murky vision because he bought all the ones near him, Like he was trying to get more real estate to build a compound, a significant compound. I think one of the things he mentioned was a landing pad for a rocket so he could just commute in a rocket if he wanted to.
Only Elon Musk.
I mean, if you think about it, if you could put one of the capsules on top of it and launch yourself into a suborbital trajectory, you could get to Europe pretty fast.
I think he would definitely need to take advantage of crude oil sucking right now, but except I don't think you don't really use.
No, you use like hydrogen and oxygen.
Ooh, sorry, use hydrogen.
I'm pretty sure. Or maybe use kerosene in some of them. I'm not sure.
I think it was a
So,
hydrogen, right?
yeah.
Liquid hydrogen. I
Rocket
mean,
fuel
who
is
knows? We're not rocket
hydrazine or
scientists, that's
whatever.
for sure.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
Okay. Hey, man.
Hey, I watched The Martian just the other night, so I feel smart.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's weird. I have funny feelings about what's his name, Matt Damon.
Oh, greatest actor.
Is that what it
alive.
was, right?
Greatest actor alive. Man.
He was great in what was it, Good Will Hunting.
That's yeah.
It's like Ben Affleck too. Like Ben Affleck,
a long time ago.
like Ben Affleck's only been great in that movie and what was the bank robbing movie he did?
Reindeer Games.
No, God, where he robs all those banks in Boston.
I don't remember.
Dude,
No.
he like wrote, directed, and started, and I was like, "Holy cow, man!"
Maybe
Like,
just
he's like, there's a niche that some
Yeah.
actors are like, "Yeah, that's what you're good at. That's what you're awesome at." And and I actually, man, I'm not gonna lie, I was okay with him being Batman there for a second. I didn't mind it.
I actually never saw that. As a matter of fact, I heard
Okay,
the
well, everybody was
reviews
in an
were just
uproar
so
about him
horrible
being
about it.
Batman, and I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
I wasn't. I mean, it was like Jared Leto. That was far
The
worse
Joker
Joker
thing.
than
Yeah.
Ben Affleck being a Batman. Like I was okay with Ben Affleck. I was like, yeah.
You know,
At first, I was like, I get it. This is gonna suck. And then I saw it. And I was like, all right, man, he's got this. I mean, he's covered up the whole time anyway. So.
Joker is a high risk trade. We'll put it that way. It's a high because you got to go really far out there to capture your Joker because every Joker's been different.
Well, every Joker's really been awesome except for Jared Leto.
Yeah, he had a big shoes to fill, and he tried to do it his way, and it just didn't hit.
You know, it might have. Come on, man. I'm sure he was definitely heavily influenced by higher ups too. Like we need to look like these hip hop rappers and blah blah blah, so we can, he was
trying something.
Go for the younger
Yeah,
crowd. Definitely going
yeah.
for the
But you see,
PG-13 crowd look.
He should have just tapped into his rock star side, which would have been more
And listen,
intimately familiar to him.
I wasn't mad at that Joker either. It was just too deliberate of what they were targeting.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, all right, guys, clearly y'all are purposely trying
The
to
executives were like, all right, we need something that is street
Yeah. And it's just weird too
and
because
urban.
you almost, I don't know, man. The comic books, that's a whole different world too. I'm very excited about the new rollout of the new Batman. It's supposed to be a trilogy, and
Wait, is it live action or?
yeah, and it has the dude from the vampire guy with the glitters. What's his name? From Twilight.
Like,
I
know that.
He's playing Batman. I don't know his name either. But
Oh, the glitters. You mean
yeah, the vampires in Twilight glittered when they were in the sun.
Oh, so
because their skin was like made of diamonds or something.
The guy that whatever. Okay, yeah,
Okay,
he was the vampire guy.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're gonna beat Christopher Nolan's Batman. I just don't think you can do it. I don't think, the last one kind of blew, but that was really Batman to me.
Yeah. What do you call Batman when he bails on church?
When he what?
What do you call Batman when he skips church?
I don't know. What do you call
Christian Bale.
Oh.
I have to answer in that joke too. I blew that up, man. Oh man, what happens when you watch TikTok? It's crazy,
That's
dude.
your latest addiction, isn't it? Are you still watching TikTok?
It's just so entertaining, dude.
That's the Chinese government just getting
I
in your
thought they
head
all
and
were.
propagandizing
Snapchat and all those face app agers, de-agers, and all that was like Russian, Chinese. Now China, man, has really stepped up their AI game. They have stepped up a lot of their technology, and I understand they're launching a rover to Mars in July.
Cool.
And it was like, I guess they were trying to keep it under wraps, but it's gonna suck if we can come out with a space force, but everybody else can. India and China can land quicker on the Mars than we can.
I'm really upset that I always feel like I was born too late or too early for when I was, and if I'd been born now, I could have aspired to be a space marine. That would have been cool.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's anything exciting like that at the moment. But
dude, you never know.
But my grandfather has now been officially a part of two branches that were added on. He was in the Air Force, but he was in the Army before.
Yes,
they made it in the Air Force. and now he's like, well into his 97, I think they said he was 97. My grandma's 95. He has now witnessed another addition to our military, and I thought that was pretty cool. And he didn't seem too he wasn't wild about it like I was. But
Do you know what I thought that we were going to do when I was a kid? I thought that we were going to have a branch of the Navy. Did you ever watch that show, Sequest? Do you remember the show?
oh yeah,
I thought
man,
we'd
that
have
show
a
was a
thing.
great show, but
It
I wouldn't
was.
watch it again. You ever
I-
had like
no,
you got
didn't
like your
work. No,
memories
yeah,
like or
yeah.
like it seems so much more magical, and then you go back and
It's
watch it, and you're
this
like,
show
"God, the
sucks. This show is not good, actually.
Yeah.
I had that same thing. I got it, and I was like, oh, look, I found it on the internet, and I was like, I'm gonna go back and watch it now. And I was like, wow, like this is a '90s movie, like TV show.
Yeah, the
It's so
only
90s.
thing that I can go back from that era and watch and truly enjoy is Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh, dude, that has immense replay value because that was good. Like they were good. Not every episode, but the vast majority of them. And what was amazing to me was like they had 24 episodes a season for like 7 seasons. Now shows they do 6 episodes and like, oh, yep, that's our season. They just phone it in, man. And of course,
Well,
I'm
we're in the new streaming era now, where it's like binge watching. And
yeah.
so, have you seen Picard on Amazon?
I watched the first episode and
It didn't grab you?
it was dumb.
Oh.
It was really dumb because it just had a lot of these like the reason the Star Trek Next Generation was fantastic. Same thing as the original, because they addressed in the abstract modern problems with a sci-fi theme. But they also presented both sides of the issue so that you as the viewer could kind of see the moral dilemma in it. But just with all shows now, it's like, here is a current problem. We've loosely written it into the plot, and it's totally black and white. And plus, just the characters, like, a spoiler alert, but like, he's going around with this girl, and she's just amazing and awesome, and you don't know why. And then, she got killed, but she has a twin. Come on, no.
Speaking of Amazon, what's his name? What's the CEO? Supposed to be like the first trillionaire now.
Oh, Bezos, trillionaire? Well, I mean, with just the product of inflation, eventually someone was going to be a trillionaire. I mean, there's plenty of trillionaire yen people. I mean, because it's a whole, couple of decimal places over. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, good for him. Good for him.
So, what would you do as a trillionaire?
Probably keep doing what got me there, because you don't make $1 trillion and then be like, okay, I'm retiring.
And I didn't realize he had his own space situation,
Yeah,
like
Blue Origin.
Elon Musk.
Blue
What
Origin.
is it with all of that? These
It's-
rich
it's,
guys want to. What's his name? Virgin guy. What's the? Oh God,
Branson.
So horrible.
Branson.
These damn names.
Richard Branson.
I know he has been at it for a while, and then he kind of like, he wasn't really. I'm sure
Paul
he's
Allen.
still been at it, but
Yeah,
it wasn't
Microsoft guy
highlighted in the news as much as like Elon's clearly the guy.
It's a billionaire's pet project. Actually, that makes me think. Do you ever watch that show Billions on Showtime?
No, somebody told me to watch it.
You
I
should.
don't
It's
know.
all about trading, man.
So
Dude, you'll get so many.
Is it
inside
really?
It's about a hedge
okay, well
fund.
then I'll watch it now.
Absolutely.
I
Go back
just
and
so many
watch it
people
with
there.
me.
There's so many shows
No,
out there.
no, no,
Everybody
no.
wants you to get in, and I'm
You'll
an
get in
addictive
this.
personality when it gets to
As
that
a
stuff.
trader,
Too
you'll pick
fucking
up on so
binge.
many of the
Okay.
inside jokes.
Okay.
Inside jokes, and they'll say stuff, and you're kind of like, actually, it's like used to when I would watch tech shows, where they'd have the nerdy guy with the glasses. He'd be like, "I'm hacking into the Department of Defense firewall to access the database," and I was just like, "Okay, all right, keep going, I'll let you say that. Just keep going with the plot."
I mean, the average person doesn't know.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but here's my critique in the positive sense of Billions. Like, they'll say things about finance and Bitcoin and crypto or options contracts and things like that, and like I'm sitting there like, okay, all right, no, but I'll give it to you that you did your homework. So I like it.
Yeah, I'll check it out then. I just one more show I need to get hooked onto and get. Would you buy Amazon now? You think it's one of those things? It's just so high. Why
Sure.
get in? Same
I
thing
want
with
them- I want-
Tesla. Like
Well, I want them to split off. Actually, I want them to
Like
split
Google
off their
did?
AWS. Yeah.
yeah,
I think that AWS is definitely a good buy, and that's one of the reasons that it has done so well, is because tech, and I think the narrative, the theme of working from home is you need more, tech and so that's a lot of the reason why, these companies are going up. That's been the leader out of this, and so that's what's driving them. In addition to the fact they've become ubiquitous for ordering online.
I mean,
but
Zoom's been a big hit, huh?
what's amazing to me is video conferencing has been around for a long time, but they did the startup method. Remember how we used to use GoToMeeting and GoToAssist
Yeah.
and all that kind of? You had to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom came on and they did what? They offered it for free,
Yeah.
and they blew up. And that's the startup model. And of course they have paid accounts now, which they're taking market share.
Yeah, I mean, I know you and I are familiar with Zoom. We use it all the time, but now, like every Monday at 5 o'clock, I'm on there with, all my family
Mhm.
members. I mean, it's amazing. It's like it's like our tradition now.
Well, that's how they
and,
capture people, with the personal.
Yeah, and that was like, it's kind of like when FaceTime first came out too. I was surprised I didn't use it, or I wasn't involved with people that used it more often because I don't know. I just like that whole I see your face. It's like I don't know, man. It's because I definitely what I do hate is texting because I'm horrible at it. There's no emotion, no feeling.
Do the record text, like text to speech.
I
speech
have
to
done that
text.
too when I'm driving,
Do it all the time.
You know what I mean?
I don't write text messages unless I can't talk.
or I actually do the actual recording of the voice too.
Yeah.
Because it just all that sucks.
I'll carry on whole like conversations on Discord, like on the Discord messaging thing. Probably shouldn't, but I do because as long as other people aren't texting and driving, we're
Mhm.
okay. I can do it just fine. But
Mm.
I'll be, and if it gets a word wrong, usually people can understand it.
Yeah, it's funny what it actually picks up versus what it doesn't. It makes me realize I need to work on enunciating. Apparently,
Enunciating. Well, I find sometimes it can't pick up the Southern dialect very well.
Yeah.
I mumble a little bit, so.
Speaking
Yeah.
of going right back to TikTok, there's a guy that has I think she's Vietnamese wife, and one of his little TikToks was pulling up a translator as she's talking, and it trying to translate her accent, and it was pretty damn funny. Man. I don't know, man. I don't know how aware she is that he like.
How does TikTok work? It just gives you random funny
Dude,
stuff.
I don't even
or
have
can
an
you
account, bro.
can
I
you
don't even
direct
have an
it?
account. My nephews have it. My Chris in particular started doing some really cool stuff, and he would send them to me, and I was like, oh, cool. And that's how I literally got involved, was just connecting with my nephews a little bit more, and it's just on the main For You thing. It's
Mhm.
like scrolls, and it's just, I mean, it's just stuff, man. And it's just, it's a combination of obviously young kids doing stupid dances, the same dances, their version, their stuff. And some of those are cool. Some of those are like ass. And then there's like really cool comical stuff. It's just quick, man. It's so the times. It's just like, you don't like you swipe, and everything's so short. It's condensed, but you spend like an hour on it.
It's great for ADD
Even though,
people.
oh my God, it's so the ADD generational thing. Oh man, that's why it's such a hit, dude. It's especially for younger people, but it's just another thing, man. I was even thinking about adding our favorite Insta Diva.
Oh,
You
that
remember
girl.
her?
Yeah,
with the Ichimoku chick. She uses it all the time. That was another reason I was like
Okay.
checking it out, because like it all, things were happening there. I was studying the social media marketing, and my nephews are hitting me up with this, and they love Instagram. They FaceTime me all the time on Instagram. Now I do like that, the whole they can call me at the same time,
Mhm.
and I can get them all on the phone
Mhm.
together, and that's cool. And then them using TikTok, and then seeing her using TikTok, and then I was like, let me check it out. She does some like cheesy stuff on there. I mean, it works for her, I guess. I mean, it's like they're kind of a little cringy sometimes. I'm like, okay, whatever sells.
They're producing content,
She's
man.
cute and whatever.
I can't figure out Instagram, man. What gets me is like I'm really starting to show my age because I remember back in the day when we used to use internet forums, right?
Mm.
And I made memes before memes were called memes,
Yeah.
where you'd actually have to go into like a paint program and like draw, on a photo and put like, captions and stuff like that yourself.
They got apps for it, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Now you just do it with your thumbs and
Oh
like,
my gosh.
I see all my friends on Instagram and their stories. They've got like flashing, colored letters and different angles and moving back and forth like that boomerang.
Mhm.
And I'm like sitting there trying to figure it out, and I'm like, just post a picture.
Yeah, I definitely had to sit there and play with it a minute too. But now I'm starting to get it, and I need to interact with the stories a little bit more. But I mean, at the end of the day, like a picture's worth 1,000 words, and that's what I love about Instagram. I think Facebook I've gotten away from because it's just too political for me, and
It's all about that, man.
just everybody's got. It's funny because that's like the one area where I think I would make an amendment to the First Amendment, freedom of speech.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
I would eliminate social media, and I think a lot of people would agree with that, considering how often
Well, the
Trump
First
uses
Amendment
it.
doesn't give you freedom of speech, like literally. It's just been interpreted to give you freedom of speech.
Well, let's figure out a way where you have to fill out a questionnaire of some sort or a validation of your point before you go and post it on Facebook. Because some of the shit people put.
But that's the beauty of democracy, man.
Oh
is
man!
that every idiot gets to share their opinions.
Yeah.
And
So again, why I've transferred over to Instagram, it's a little bit
less
more.
of that.
I guess your opinion in a picture is more exciting to me than your words.
I mean, people use their Instagram though as a platform to tell you exactly how they feel about what's going on in the world. That's for sure. If you watch the stories and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, it's we all are our own reality now. Reality TV star.
Okay, if
Right.
that's what you want.
I mean,
want to,
it's
man.
let's be real. The Real World came about, even though Cops was the first reality show. Okay,
Didn't they cancel it like
so
recently?
they did cancel. Or that's already, I don't whatever. Anyway,
That's sad. End of an era.
but Real World is what I think set off that genre that we all see now on TV. That's overtaken everything to the point where MTV doesn't even show music videos anymore. It's just that formula that has worked for them, and they've copycatted or cookie cutter, whatever you want to call it. And then now that's transitioned to where everybody is on their own social media selfies and, narcissistic, engaged. And, that was a lot of reason why I didn't, it's like a love-hate relationship with social media.
Oh.
Like learning, like getting myself to go, all right, I really need to learn this for everything I'm involved with. It's very important because I definitely feel, even from the music standpoint, I've always told people, man, record labels are dead. Your distribution is your internet, and the PR is your social media. You should learn how to use it. And if you look at all the people like that, Lil Nas X, I mean, he was a TikTok.
Oh, okay.
That's
don't know who that
viral
is.
guy.
Yeah.
The guy that had he was the black kid that did the country song that they all raved. They were all mad about once they realized he was black. They were like,
No.
"Oh, we got to take you off the
let me-
country
hold on,
pop
hold
charts."
on.
But then
Let me
Billy Ray
correct that.
Cyrus co-signed him.
Let me
and,
correct that.
he had
Let
like
me-
the biggest song
let
of
me
the
correct
summer.
that.
So
That is along the lines of the whole Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez dancing around her video, causing an uproar.
I don't know if
Nobody
I caught that.
cared. And the same thing about the
You talking about who is this? AOC?
AOC. Yeah, she had like I had seen that video.
I
of
think
her
she's so hot,
years
bro.
ago. Well, of course she's attractive,
Yeah.
and
And she's a bartender.
she was. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you know that she could carry on conversation. But it's very dangerous though to have someone that charismatic, pushing for communism. But whatever. I mean, but the thing was like they made this whole thing about her being, oh, she's not very proper. She's dancing around in a music video. No one cared. But the fact that you can write something like conservatives in an uproar, and the same thing goes with that guy about the whole thing. Like everyone I know here in the South, whoever they were, white or country or whatever, they liked the song.
Mm-hmm.
They thought it was kind of cool. They weren't
Dude,
uproar
that
about it.
song,
And
that,
so
that song
there was
and,
no controversy about it,
Soul
but
played.
controversy
out.
sold.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were like going and saying like, oh well, there's controversy. Well, let me hear this song. That's the strategy. That's the meta.
Mm.
So I don't buy those.
And it's like the whole Tekashi 6ix9ine being a snitch, and he's just still topping the charts, and all these old school cats are fucking pissed.
Do you remember Stitches?
Oh God! Fuck. So that's our favorite rapper, man.
He was on that like hockey stick trajectory until he got
knocked out.
The F out.
Yeah, and then he got a bunch of humble pie. I saw an interview later on him, and he was like sober and definitely humble and mature. And I was like, well,
does he still is he sober but still with tattoos of like guns on his face?
Way more now.
Oh, okay.
Wait, he's running out of palette space, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. He's like running out of room.
I mean, at some point,
tattoo.
At some point you make a decision in life. I'm not going to pay taxes in what I do, and that's cool. You make your choices. So.
God, dude. I mean, he had it going for him. If he just hadn't gotten knocked out, man. I guess there's some things you could. Better. Yeah. I mean, you got to be careful, man. I mean. That's where we're at now. Like I said, we all become our own reality show, and you got to be careful of, and that just goes for everything. Even with the whole situations with the cops. You saw the stuff with the Atlanta police, and it was all on their body cams. You're watching it, and you're like, all right, well, this seems like you're waiting. It's like the end of the movie, right? This guy gets shot, but you're watching. How they're like pulling him over. They're, talking to him. Everything seems cool. And you're like, man, where does this go so wrong so bad, And then, of course, as soon as they take off, the body cams get knocked off. And you're like, God damn it, man. Like, that's that's what we wanted to see. I sat here through this whole freaking thing, and y'all dropped the body cams, So it's like, it's not movie, right? Because the movie would have caught it. They would have caught the angles. It would have, the look, So
you want, like, a full studio production.
We have been conditioned. Right.
Oh, to want these
we're
things.
already conditioned by seeing that.
HD,
but reality is never that pretty.
No, reality's pretty messy.
Yeah, it's pretty messy. And, the best shot that can come was with the Wendy's. Now, they did say there was, like, some witnesses who had their phones, too, but I haven't seen that footage yet. So
I was up too late last night listening to the Zone 6 police scanner because they all called in sick. And
I heard about this. They were like ignoring 911 calls.
Nothing ended up happening. I thought something was going to happen and stayed up a little too late.
You have a scanner
on the internet? Like it was people were sharing. Yeah. I don't have a scanner really, but it was people were sharing it last night, late night. That look, there's nobody. Like they're saying they're not going to respond to calls and stuff, but nothing happened. Again, but to your point, it's entertainment. Do you remember Fight Club? Of course you remember Fight Club, right? There's a quote in there where Brad Pitt version of Tyler Durden, spoiler, is talking, and he says, we were all raised to believe that we would be rock stars and movie stars, but we won't, and we're slowly learning that fact. That was 1999. Now, to your point, people can be if they want to because of what. So it's a totally different. Fight Club was a very influential movie on our generation, wouldn't you say? Like the thinking, like we derived. Everyone had the poster.
Yeah, I mean,
you were quoting it.
Yeah, because it was the average Joe guy. It was appealing to like the normal person.
But things are really culturally different now, especially on that point where you used to have to, go through this process of becoming a celebrity. Now, through just probability, luck in a lot of ways, anyone can. It's like winning the lottery, A
good old lottery ticket.
That's what those bankrupt companies are.
Lottery tickets?
Yeah, basically. They're playing them like that. Scratch them, scratch.
Oh, my gosh, man. Ugh. I was actually thinking about sitting down with a financial planner that my parents use just to have someone to talk to, converse with, things like that,
We need an office again, man. I want to get. That's why I joined that Discord, man.
I got an office. We got an office right here, man.
Dude, you are
a mile away, bro.
Ways away from me. I need something like within. I need something like far enough where it's this distance from my house that like I can clear my head and like listen to something on the way.
Yeah.
But not like where I want to stay.
I do that with my parents. Since I don't have to work, I did that last week, and I just went up there and was like, hey, I'm bringing my computer, and I'm going to do some back testing, and I just wanted to get away from here because, I find too many distractions that pull me in, the aquaponics outside, just things in general, working in the yard. I'll find myself just gravitating, and then I'm like, God, I really need to sit down and do that. I know I don't want to, but I need
getting
to.
like another shared office space, like WeWork or something like that, honestly. So.
You know what? Now might be the time because the
bankrupt?
deals. I mean, that's definitely. That was the other. Zoom and all these topics online about how these companies are like, why do we need them in the office? They can work from home. Sure, work from home. So I'm interested to see how that all plays out. Because I think people do like getting out of their house, even though before this they'd probably be like, man, I hate getting up and getting in traffic and yada yada. And then over time, I think people will be like, you know what, man, I kind of did like. I didn't necessarily like traffic, but I like being in an office. I like being at work. But it'll be interesting, man. I don't know. I want to see how that affects the real estate too. I was talking to one of my buddies who does commercial real estate and just kind of getting a feel with everything because it's like all these retail stores that are struggling, but then like you got like 0 interest rates, so it's like good time to go get loans. So it's I don't know, man. It's like some things like are really cool, and then there's other things is like, yeah, but this is not really working out. You can't really take advantage of I could take advantage of the low gas prices because we weren't allowed to go anywhere in the beginning of the COVID. I was like, damn, gas is so cheap, but I got an RV and I filled up my RV. I definitely did that. I was like, let me fill it up, but I couldn't really take it anywhere in the beginning. Now I can. Everybody's like, it's in the shop, but whatever. It's just weird times we're in, man. Wes, give me what you think. What we think will go back to normal? You think or do you think this will change us forever? Like little things like they say we'll probably never shake hands again.
Oh, let's shake hands. Yeah.
Dude, I can't get that out of my head.
Who cares about the COVID stuff, wearing masks and stuff? Has taken a very interesting political dimension. It's like what surprised me about that is that I think it really comes from the people that could work from home, or the white collar people. They tend to be like, okay, yeah, let's stay at home. It's cool. I like it, as opposed to blue collar working people. Yeah, but as far as like going back to normal, virus wise, I'm the framework that I'm kind of looking at is the early 2000s and terrorism. You remember how
we'll just drag that fear on.
Yeah. You can bet for the next 10 years, there will be.
So this is like the new 9/11, is what you're saying?
Yes. I mean, it's basically going to be where like even Britain instituted their COVID alert color system. Remember the whole color system? Wow. Britain actually put that in, and I think basically because another thing, man. People were like, "Oh, second wave." I was like, "Of course, there's going to be a second wave."
Apparently, China's having a good second wave.
The reason they're having a second wave, and they're always going to have a second wave and a third one and a fourth one, is because as soon as the media cycle, as soon as the news cycle gets to a lull, like the riots kind of died down. Yeah. Well, you notice that like COVID was starting to die down, so then we had the riots. Yeah. And the riots started to die down, so now we have the second wave. It's always something to get people's eyes and clicks. It's always going to be something. Whether it's just one person in the world that has it, there's money to be made in making people pay attention, and so they will. They will make it.
I'll tell you what. If they want to keep throwing me money and keep me home, then fine. I'll do it. I don't mind.
Well, at some point, we have to produce goods and services.
Do it from our home, right?
Can't really eat money.
Yeah, my mom makes cards, scrapbooks. I know another girl who made masks. I mean, you got all these
as long as
moms and wives that are already doing it from home. Why couldn't the men let's just make it from our home, man?
I'm actually really
growing vegetables in my backyard. Let's go.
I'm intrigued by the Andrew Yang notions of us being in a post-scarcity society. In other words, going back to your point about Star Trek: The Next Generation. Yeah. When we have replicators and we can just make anything that we want, food, materials, we'll live in a post-scarcity society. But we don't yet.
I did like, and I think a lot of people overlooked. What I liked about Andrew Yang is he was this Democrat that talked like a Republican, even when he used the word freedom dividend, you know, to like, everybody still called him socialist, but the thing is he was talking about getting the money from the companies. Now, granted, what we're doing now is,
Good luck with that.
a lot of people are saying, you know, what we're doing now is what the UBI or whatever was what he was talking about, but the government is giving us this money. He was talking about going and taxing the tech companies.
Okay, good luck with that.
Right? And
you do realize that they've become like the 6th branch of government now. I mean, they basically have censored the president, soft censor, but still they have made it where if you go to Twitter and you're looking to see what the president said, you have to click through to get to it. So they basically said, yeah, we can actually stop the president from getting, you know, what he wants to say, no matter what it is, out.
I don't know, man.
Google,
he probably should be stopped though, man. Some of the stuff I have to remind myself
whether
he's a president sometimes.
Whether he does it or not, the precedent has been set that a tech company can now decide. For instance, my mom's birthday is tomorrow, and then I had a family get together on Saturday, and I knew I'd had these on my calendar, and then 2 nights ago I noticed where in the middle of them there was Juneteenth, and I was like, I didn't add that. That's not a federal holiday. Google had decided to add that to federal holidays or holidays in general, apropos of just them deciding that's what they wanted to do. So they're not only flexing their power over elected officials, controlling the messaging, but they are also taking the culture of the nation and giving it a nudge in the direction that they see fit. So the idea that you're going to have any power to tax them at this point, good luck. Good luck. They don't even need lobbyists. They just control the narrative. Like the whole having to pay lobbyists to, you know, go talk and wine and dine and bribe or backroom deal with politicians. You don't even have to do that. You just say, we'll destroy your candidacy. We'll destroy your whole platform by not letting you speak, or making sure that everyone turns against you by having our algorithms emphasize negative stories about you so they reach to the top of the feed and more people share them. They know how this works now. They have a lot of smart people working to figure out how this works. So good luck trying to tax them.
All right, there you have it. Wes said, good luck, Andrew Yang. Anything else you want to wrap up with?
No,
Wes?
I gotta work out with a friend here in a bit. So
yeah, man, I gotta give it to you, man. I'm very envious of you. You've lost a lot of weight and you're looking really good.
Just do it.
Oh yeah, I did. I go in stages, bro.
Don't.
Hey, I'm almost ready to go back to work because apparently while I'm working, I like to work out. When I'm not working,
Yeah. Well, you're always moving around.
I was gonna say, like the yard landscaping, yard work, whatever you want to call it, building the greenhouse. That's a lot of physical labor. It's just, I need some cardio, man. I need to do some cardio.
How many push-ups can you do?
I don't know.
Let's go do some. Let's wrap it up.
Let's not.
All right.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you in another episode of. I don't even know what we're gonna name this, huh?
Not yet.
Chicka 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 chicka. We need that like music rolling out. We don't have that.
Dude, do you have music for yours yet?